Heard every Thursday at 12 noon on WQBQ 1410 AM and 95.1 FM. We are here to answer your aging questions pertaining to diet, health, and nutrition. Call now at 352-315-1410. Brought to you by Lake Nutrition Center, located in La Plaza Grand South, up in the Villages. Now here's Barbara, the owner of Lake Nutrition.
Hello, James. How are you?
Glad to see you today, and I love your music bit.
Look, I do
so
too.
Exciting.
I'm glad because you know why? When I walked in, I have to say I have a little beef. I cannot listen to the Christmas song about the red shoes before my show.
I know.
That was just, that takes me down to a place. So I'm glad the music is upbeat and perky because the red slipper Christmas song is...
That was tough.
It's tough to get through.
But there's folks out there. I lost both of my grandparents at Christmas.
Yeah.
One at Christmas Eve and one at Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And so there are folks out there that
it's tough. Yeah.
But that's the joy of the Christmas season.
Amen. Because you know what? The end is Jesus, and they're with Jesus, and we're hanging out here doing the show. Yeah.
Till our turn.
Look at us. Hey, look, I'm thinking too, as I was listening to the news, that I might change careers and go work for the Public Works Department because they got the brand new Silverado.
They got the new truck.
Oh my goodness, the Silverado is my dream truck.
And isn't your husband listening?
Yeah, every time I say I want a truck, he's like, you don't want a truck. I'm like, but it's a Silverado.
Hello, honey. Can you please pick her up a new truck on your way home today and just tell her Merry Christmas?
Or just go to work at the Public Works Department.
So we drive one of theirs.
And then I could just drive one of theirs, and then there's no conflict at home, and I'll be in a Silverado. So that was I'm like, wow, that's exciting. They got some new trucks, and I was thinking, I think I forgot what the police got, but they had gotten some good, well-deserved, believe me, by all of it, well-deserved. If you want people to do a job, you need to give them the right equipment. Sure. At the end of the day, you give people junk equipment to do a job, they're going to do a junk job. So I am so delighted to hear that the town is getting all new equipment for people to do a good job and be proud of the work that they do. It's hard to be proud of work that you do when you're trying, the truck broke down again, I can't get from X to Y, that's just ridiculous. So yesterday at the Research Center was a fun morning for me. We had, the staff donated to a lot of 3 angels, which they call them at the Salvation Army, and the staff picked people in their 60s, which older adults usually get missed on those types of trees, and fulfilled some really good wishes. So one gentleman wanted a lawnmower, which he will now receive at Christmas. And things like that, we don't recognize that will be life-changing for that person. That could even include his profession. He may want to now make a few extra bucks cutting the lawn, not only his lawn, but maybe his parents or whoever, I don't know his situation, but so that was a lot of fun. We were able to bring a lot of good gifts up to the Salvation Army. So when you see those types of things and those types of trees, remember that it's fun to get gifts for the 2-year-olds, but there's also a demographic of older adults that need to have some people looking after them. And that is the study of gerontology. So, as you know, I have 1 more semester to go, and I'm sure you'll be happy when this is all school dilemma is over. So I retook my final exam, another 3 hours of my life given to cardiovascular muscle, I don't even know, physiology class. And
that'd be the one that you were in the midst of taking.
Yeah, and they decided that I shouldn't take it. I need to reboot. Oh no, you're not gonna reboot nothing. Let me tell you something, buddy. So, done. And took the test again. So, some of the things in life that we go through that we just don't want to do. I did not want to take that test again, but I did it. And another 3 hours of my life, and I'm glad I did. I got a better grade on it. Obviously, the first one, I barely read the question because he cut me short of my time. But persevere through some of those things. In the last few shows that we've done, this is what we've talked about. How do we get through these holidays with, the stress and all of the different things that we have. The holidays weigh heavy on a lot of people, like the Little Red Shoes song. Sometimes you just have a little trigger that could bring you down from your happy mood. So just let's recap some of the things. We talked about food. Now remember, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I am me. I own a health food store and I know stuff. So, and I'm going to tell you all the things I'm learning in school. And here we go. And things that I've experienced. So some of the things we've talked about are ways to get through the holidays. So go back to my YouTube channel called Ageless Ways, Longer Days. And you'll see the other videos from the prior weeks. I'm putting all of these talks up on YouTube, Ageless Ways, Longer Days, and you'll be able to get the information again. But part of what you missed when you were out, I want to recap because this is so important. A lot of what I'm learning in gerontology, even though it is for the aging, I'm learning about aging adult, I really believe that the 20-year-olds need to hear all of this because nobody ever explained to me what really is going on in my body as I put on a whole boatload of weight. And you weren't here, so I'm going to explain it again because I think it's that important on what's going on inside of your body. So inside of your body, you have blood vessels, right?
Right.
We're going to pretend this pen is a blood vessel. And we have 60,000 miles. So that's twice around the United States, twice around the world, and then some. That's what's happening in your body right now. So here is a blood vessel, and the heart is pumping from one side of the blood vessel to another side of the blood vessel. Now, the audience knows the answer to this because I said it once before. But I'm going to ask you, guess how many miles of blood vessels you gain when you gain 1 pound?
I don't know.
5. So you gain 1 pound. See this vessel? It's going to go 5 more miles with just a pound. So what does that mean to you? It means the heart is pumping over here, trying to get the blood here on a regular day. Now I gain a pound, the heart has to pump the blood all the way 5 more miles. I gain 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds. I am adding miles and miles and miles of blood vessels. So as I do that, fine in my 20s, the heart's pumping. I'm like, okay, I might be a little overweight, but whatever, I feel good, I'm gonna get there. Your heart is a muscle, remember that. And that muscle gets worked out just like your biceps are worked out. So you work those biceps out so you get nice, big, fun muscles. Well, your heart is doing the same thing when it has to push that blood. And the blood is carrying nutrients for your body and it's carrying oxygen. It's carrying it to your brains, your lungs, your organs, everything in there. So that's what happens. Now you do that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and all of a sudden you're 60, 70. And people are going, wait, I think you have heart issues. Well, yeah, because your heart has pumped so many more extra miles to get that blood from one place to another. Now, this is what also happens because God has given us a brilliant body, and the body works in such a way that organs that really need the blood, like your brain and your kidneys and your lungs, get the primary amount of blood. Your skin only gets 5%. Skin only gets 5% of your blood. So here's what happens. Your heart is trying to pump that blood through all of those vessels to get it to all of these organs. Now it's like, hey, can't get to the kidneys today. So the brain says, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I am gonna stop the blood. I'm gonna release some hormones, stop the blood going to the skin, and I'm gonna back it up the track so it goes into the kidneys. So what the brain does is tells the rest of the body, look, you lesser organs, which the skin is, actually the skin's our biggest organ because it covers our whole body, but you lesser organs like, hey, you're not going to get that blood. That's why a lot of times you see people with, funky looking skin, and it's because they're not getting the blood and the nutrients to the skin because the other parts of their body need it more. So I say all of this out of love to all of you out there that are putting, like I put on 3 pounds during Thanksgiving, and, there goes 15 more miles. So think about those things when you make these choices, especially as the new year comes in. That's why a pound is so important. Nobody ever once told me what happens to the inside of my body. All I've ever heard was, if you lose weight, you'll feel better. You have to, it's good for you. Well, why is it good for me? Well, now I know one of the reasons why it's good for me, because my heart and my blood and my nutrients and my oxygen level will all be better just from this little less pumping. We also talked about mental health. I sit here for a little bit and I think that, holiday stress really bums people out. And it's any little thing, down to the traffic in the morning, because more people are on the road, more people are distracted, more people are cutting other people off and not being kind. So try not to take any of these things and turn them into and bring them internally and get aggravated and annoyed over these different types of things. So watch your spending during the holidays, because that too will cause you stress. Create a relaxed surrounding will help you to get out of this stress. Now today, what I really want to focus on is peace. A lot of us have turbulence in our life. Some of that turbulence in our life we've created. Some has been created for us. And some is just because we have our nose in other people's business that it doesn't belong there. So we attach ourselves to other people's turbulence. And if those of the Q family that I love so much, those of you that are out there, you'd have a lot less turbulence if you keep your nose out of other people's business.
You're getting a little personal here now.
Oh, yeah, I'm not pointing the finger anywhere, but after the break, we're going to talk about peace and what that means. So stay tuned and come back and listen.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.